What is good, friends, and welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. Alexandria is a wrap, and I want to share my opinion, what I think about this new theater of conquest, newish theater of conquest. Not everything is bad. I was expecting a disaster, but I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, yes, there's few things that could be optimized or fixed, but overall, not a bad conquest. So let's go. Before we discuss the main topic, I'd love to hear which conquest city is your favorite so far. If you could bring back any city, which one would it be and why? Share your thoughts in the comments. Personally, I prefer the agency because of its layout and the ability to jump into allied territory, which enhance the teamwork.
I am ready.
With that being said, before I discuss the specifics of Alexandria, I need to address a major issue with all the naval conquest: the lack of bunkers at sea. Farming greatly influenced your alliance success, but bunkers are nowhere to be found. Even though Lilith is forcing us to fight on water, during a large naval battle, you can't abandon your duty or force your teammates to move into dry land just to form a bunker group. Additionally, once the battle ends, too many commanders occupy the same patch of land, making it nearly impossible to find a high-level bunker. Don't understand why at this point in the game we can't have bunkers on water. Until then, could Lilith build more high-level bunkers on land so we don't have to fight over basic things like farming?
Don't push me.
The map layout is very similar to Caro with a few additions. It features many narrow passages, choke points, and an asymmetrical design. Depending on your spawn point, you can get an advantage over the opposition to control a specific area, but looking at the big picture, one side of the opposition has the same benefit, so overall it's balanced. The final capture point is in the ocean, along with several points of interest. Alexandria includes map building with desert oil returns. More on this later. One nice touch is the addition of areas that will allow a transition from land to sea and vice versa. Those are called coastal defense stations and ocean strike stations. Once you are in control of that station, you can sweep the area of any enemy bases and units that will render the captured village into a neutral one, allowing you to capture and continue your progress. It's a nice feature. Between you and me, it's always satisfying to wipe an entire army with a simple press of a button. Once you activate the strike, there's a countdown of 60 seconds and a cooldown of 60 minutes.
Absolutely.
What happened to Caro? For those who are unaware, there are no longer land conquests. Besides Agency, Vancouver, Alexandria, and Iceland are in reality San Francisco, Caro, and Moscow, modified for the Navy. I really wish Lilith kept the legacy conquest, but I guess it's the only way they can force the commanders to develop the Navy.
Orders?
Gameplay wise, until the blockhouse level 2 opens, it's a 2v2, so you'll be fighting just two alliances, giving you a great chance to get to know them well. At first, you'll battle on land, but soon enough, the fighting will most likely move over to the water. At least, that's how it was for us. I'm quite fond of the naval battles, but I think the balance between land and sea fights could be improved a bit for an even more enjoyable experience. If you decide not to focus on your navy, you might find it harder to stay engaged with the game since contributing to your alliance's success becomes more challenging. You'll be on land while others are fighting on water, and keep in mind that naval kills score 50% more than ground kills. When you realize your mistake, you could be far behind in units, officer, and tech, which might make the game less enjoyable. Adapting to the Navy is crucial. Many commanders have stopped playing because they didn't focus on it earlier on. Navy is here to stay, and even in Legendary 2 Battlefield, low spenders can still have a solid 9 stars unit with 2 awakened officers. For anyone hesitant about working on their navy, finding an alliance could become difficult. In NNN, we encourage every commander to participate in navy battles. Otherwise, they might need to find a new alliance.
Moving.
In Alexandria, the Desert Oil Tech returns as well as the operation expertise that was introduced first in Agency. Either tech is fine and plays a huge role in the battlefield, but having both tech is a little bit too much in my opinion. If you want to complete either tech in a timely fashion to enjoy the bonus early, you will have to purchase gift packs. Completing your missions, even with the help of the Battlestar pack, will be far from enough to finish all the technology tree. For those commanders who can afford to max both tech, oil and advanced expertise will gain 55% in HP, 55% in firepower, 10% in damage intensity and 10% in damage resist on normal attack, 10% in skill boost and 10% in skill resilience, 10% in damage intensity and 10% in damage resist. That is a huge advantage early in game. A few years ago, if you remember, Lilith reduced the firepower, HP, damage, and damage resist bonuses gained from capturing strategic places, only to later remove them entirely in the game in name of fairness and balance. Now, these buffs are reinstated, but only if player can afford them, widening the gap between free-to-play players and heavy spenders. I'm not a fan of those temporary buffs. To me, they're just a cash grab, and since you have no chance to complete those techs without spending, if Lilith promotes fairness, they should chill with the temporary tech. Pick either the Desert Oil tech or the Operation expertise, not both. Right now, it's just another way to encourage the player to spend more. That's all I have for you today, friends. What's your opinion about the Conquest Alexandria? Do you think it's biased towards Navy or is it perfectly balanced? Let me know in the comment section below. Lilith listen to your feedback, and every time a new conquest is introduced, there's always room for optimization. Remember, if you've neglected the Navy, it's not too late to make up for it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.